Hello, Infinity. I'm back, you're back, let's get into it. Today, I wanted to go over my plans for Inktober, going over some of the tools and art items that I'll be using to complete all of the prompts, as well as my ideas, goals, and hopes for getting through October and the 31-day drawing challenge. I've only ever completed Inktober once in my life, and it was a good couple of years ago at this point, so hopefully I can redeem myself and shake off some of those drawing cobwebs and get back into it. But it's not supposed to be pressureful. It's supposed to be fun, lighthearted, and good practice, and really building those habits of trying to draw every day. I'll be completing all of my prompts in my Canson XL Mixed Media Sketchbook. This one is the 7 by 10 inches. I also have a much smaller one that I take with me just to do some art on the fly, but doing all of my prompts on the bigger paper is going to push me to be a little bit more creative in completing all of the prompts. I actually pre-labeled all of the pages with the prompts already on these nice blue sticky notes. That way, if my ink bleeds through onto the next page, I can just move the sticky note onto a fresh page and I don't have to scribble anything out. But pre-labeling my pages helps it be a little bit easier to get started on the art process. I don't have to continuously pull up my prompt list. Instead, I can just look at the prompt that's already on the page and get started for the day. I'm really going for ease of access in completing this challenge. Next up, getting into pens. So starting off, I have the classic Bic Crystal in both black and all of these fun colors. I really don't want to stick to just a monochromatic, just black Inktober. I really enjoy putting colors into my different art pieces, and I feel like I want Inktober to be fun for me, so I just made sure to grab as many colors as I can while still following the fact that I am using ink. And the Bic Crystal pens are incredibly cheap, but surprisingly really good art tools. The pack of the colored ones was less than $5. I also have a pack of various different black pens floating around my house. Unfortunately, I only found one for the video itself. Following the trend of various different black pens floating around my house, I have the Pilot G2 in .07. I also have a couple of .05s that are floating around my house, but I couldn't find for this exact video, but I'm sure I will end up using later if I find some floating around. The reason I like the G2s is that I can get a much finer line, and they are a much richer, darker black instead of the more muted, desaturated black that the Bics come in. I just wanted something that was a little bit more punchy with a little bit of a finer tip. The reason I don't just go with just the G2 though, however, is that it has the tendency to smudge. And given the fact that my hand ends up all over my art pieces, I don't exactly want everything to smudge every time. So this is definitely a later line art thing instead of my initial sketch. Something you will notice as I'm going through the rest of my art supplies is that I don't have any form of pencil. Everything I have is a permanent ink. That way it forces me to keep my sketches loose and not overwork the piece. Something that really forces you when you're doing physical media is to live with your mistakes. And I also want these to be quick and fun, and I don't want to have to go over the same piece over and over and over again trying to find it perfect. If I do find a piece that I do enjoy, I can always go back and do some more work on it to get it to something that I'm very excited on. But really, at the end of the day, Inktober is just for practice and for fun. And if it's not fun, I'm not going to practice. Next up, when it comes to art supplies, that's right, it's clearance highlighters. Following in the trend of using highlighters in your sketchbooks, I actually really enjoy these particular highlighters. They are so fun and vibrant and juicy, and each color comes with a second. That way I don't run the risk of running out of a specific color halfway through Inktober. Unfortunately, these pens do pick up ink underneath them, so I do have to be careful, but they also surprisingly blend like a dream. For really cheap, I believe, water-based highlighters, I can get a lot of good layering and blending, and I've actually posted a couple of pieces that I've just done with these highlighters. I think they're going to add a fun pop and color to my Inktober, and I'm really excited to use these. Moving into my free inks, I have a beautiful purple and a watermelon black that I will be using some paintbrushes in. These inks are really nice to get a good swath of color, and I absolutely love this purple. As for my paintbrushes, they're just some random paintbrushes that I'm not overly attached to and can get a little bit ruined with the ink, since the ink will stain and will blend over with these paintbrushes, so I can't use them for anything else after I use them during Inktober. But that's okay. I have a nice flat brush and two detail brushes, which I am very excited to get some good fun effects with the different loose ink. I mean, look at how quickly I was able to put down a nice swath of even black with no scribbles. If I were to try to do this with any of my pens, my arm would kill me. And we're not trying to get carpal tunnel during Inktober. It's supposed to be fun, which is why I'm using the loose ink with the paintbrushes. I also have a very cheap plastic pipette to give some fun spray effects as well. It's really hard to hand draw those droplets and getting the random effect. So having this dropper is going to be really fun to get some good ink blop. These inks were actually originally for my Inkwell pen. Unfortunately, I cannot find it, and I'm sure it is in my pile in my craft room that I just have not been able to sort through. And since my craft room is currently under renovation, I really don't have the energy to go and look for it. It was at this point that my partner came out to see what I was doing, and I was telling him about my dilemma with my Inkwell pen and how I unfortunately will not have it for Inktober. It was at this moment that he said this.
I have my Infinity ink pen if you want to use that.
Ooh. That's right. My wonderful partner is allowing me to use his beautiful glass dip pen for Inktober. I was so excited. This was my genuine reaction when he brought it out. I have to make sure that I'm really careful with this ink pen, but it holds ink like a dream. You don't have to dip nearly as much as I thought I would, and it writes so smooth and so evenly. I'm very excited to get to use it. The pen itself also came with this beautiful sparkly red ink. I probably won't be using this one as much as my other inks since there's a lot less of it, and I don't want to be the jerk that uses up all of my partner's good fun ink. But I might do a little accent here and there. Who knows? Now that the black ink has dried, I am going to show off my final two pens. I have the classic Sakura white gel pen and the Papermate white gel pen, both of which will allow me to get some nice highlights after I'm done doing the rest of the inking. Unfortunately, I couldn't get my Papermate pen to work, but it has worked for me really well in the past. But the Jelly Roll is where it's at. It gives down a nice thick white paint, like ink, which will work really well to get some nice good shines, highlights, and maybe correcting if I mess up with any of my inks. Here I am just testing the different pens and highlighters with the different inks, seeing what will smudge and what won't smudge, and also showing off the beautiful blendability of these really, honestly, insane highlighters. For the price that I got them, I was surprised that they were on clearance with how easily they blend. Like, shockingly good for highlighters. I don't know what's with these highlighters, but they're so good. And that's all. That's all that I'm using for Inktober. I didn't want to go too overboard because then again, it'll be a lot harder for me to get started if I have to hunt down everything that I want to use. I'm just using these set things, which are going to be organized in a nice place that are easy to grab. I like keeping my art accessible because I'm more likely to do it. As for the rules and goals for Inktober, I am a little delusional and I do want to try to draw for 10 minutes every day. That may not happen. I might have to do some catch-up days, but for the most part, quick drawings that I can always go back to and finish if I do like them, and trying to get myself in the habit of drawing every day is going to be much better than burning myself out into a week of doing this. I am going to try to follow the 2025 Inktober prompts as closely as I can, but if I get something a little bit more wacky and I don't like a particular prompt, I might switch them out. Again, fun. We're focusing on fun here. We want fun. It's Funtober for Inktober, you know? I will also be doing a couple of shorts here and there to show my different inking processes, as well as posting on all of my various different social medias as an update. So if you want to keep an eye out for that and help keep me accountable, that'd be much appreciated. And that's pretty much all for today. It was a little bit of a shorter video as a fun update and getting ready for Inktober. Let me know if any of you are following different prompts. I know there's a couple of different prompt lists floating around social media at this point. There's Cringetober, OC-tober, Spooktober, Caught on Camera-tober. Very exciting to see all of the creatives doing spooky prompts for the Halloween season. Keep an eye out for some of my YouTube shorts and Instagram reels. I'll be posting a lot of my inking process this time around. You can stay updated and follow me across the webiverse at these various different locations, and hopefully we can get through this together. I believe in all of us. Again, no pressure. It's supposed to be fun and good practice. And that's all for today. Okay, bye.